All right, so welcome everyone. This is the Inner Lyric Summit. I'm Eloah, your organizer, MC, facilitator, and overall cheerleader for all of you. The people that you see on screen and the people that you don't see on screen right now. I'm cheerleading for all of you showing up here to discover a new way of loving yourselves and just loving life. And I'm very excited to introduce Brandon Reed right now. I met Brandon through the Cape Town Free Diving Network group, and it was so refreshing, right? Because free diving and breath holds. Oh, there you go. Hey, Craig. Because free diving and breath holding was really scary for me, and I did it as sort of like with this masculine energy, like I'm gonna get strong and we're gonna get good, far strong breath holds for surfing. And you just made it so, I don't know, you opened up a new way of looking at it for me, like which is focused on beauty and just like it's a real beautiful journey. So I'm so excited that you said yes to be here and that you're sharing this with all of us. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Eloah. That's so nice of you to say. Cool. Well, yeah. So as Eloah said, my name is Brandon. I am a freediver. I am a freediving instructor with the certified through Pure Apnea. I've been an instructor for about a year now. I've been diving for about 2 years now. But I've been in the water my whole life, and really just sort of my entire life's journey has sort of led me to this weird world of diving really deep and holding my breath for a really long time. Let's see, I have a 7.5-minute personal best breath hold. And I have also gone down to 43 meters, which is about as deep as we can find here in the Cape Town area without having to go out really, really far with a boat and all of that, which is obviously expensive and time consuming and all of that. But yeah, cool. So breath holding is probably not something that you would really think of as a very relaxing experience. At least when I started out, I didn't think it was very relaxing at all. Because I mean, if you ever held your breath for a long time, you sort of get this like weird feeling in your stomach, and you start to feel a little panicky. And I wouldn't really describe that as relaxing or comfortable. And yet, the more you do breath holds and the more you sort of get used to those feelings, the more enjoyable it actually becomes. When you do a breath hold, those sort of signs that your body gives are basically an innate response saying, okay, cool, we have CO2 building up in our lungs. We need to get rid of that. And as such, the body then tells you, okay, cool, warning signs start to go off in your brain. Your diaphragm involuntarily contracts. You might feel tension in your throat. All of those things are the body basically telling you, okay, cool, we have sensed an increased buildup of CO2 in your lungs, and it's time for you to get rid of that and sort of move on. Now, what's really cool about breath holding is that over time, you can learn to dull those signs from your body. So like for me, my personal best of 7.5 minutes, I can hold my breath for about 2.5 minutes totally comfortably with no urge to breathe, no contractions. But then after 2.5 minutes, I start to get these diaphragmatic contractions. I start to feel tension in my throat and my neck. But I've trained my body to the point that I can then sit with those feelings for, what is that, 5 minutes? To basically just sit with that and get to a really long breath hold time. And in doing that, that really gets to a meditative perspective and point. Because in the beginning, you are just sitting there and relaxing, enjoying the feeling of being totally full. After you get the contractions, you sort of starts a rhythm, sort of like what we were doing the last presentation with, moving our bodies. Our bodies sort of dance on their own, and we sort of, can get lost in that rhythm as well. And it's really interesting for me in terms of self-love and self-care, because I sort of use these as a way of gauging where I'm at mentally. Because during a breath hold, you're just sitting there, you're just laying there, you can't really do anything else. So you're just sort of forced to sit there with whatever's going on in your head. And if you are anxious, if you are uncomfortable, if you are very busy, you're going to have a harder time doing your breath holds. Whereas if you are calm, you are content, you are relaxed, breath holds are going to be easier, they're going to feel better, and they're just going to be overall more enjoyable. So this is my self-love practice. This is how I show myself self-love, and also how I sort of check in with how I've been doing with my self-love. Because if I really struggle with breath holds, I know, okay, I haven't been doing X or I haven't been doing Y. And I'll look back and say, okay, oh, shoot, I missed, my chill out time yesterday, or I worked too long like 2 days ago. So it's a really, really interesting and unique way of sort of checking in with how things are going with you. Cool. So, yeah, let's see. Man on Fire. What are you sort of expecting to get from this breath hold session? Anything in particular, or just sort of interested in learning more?
I'm very interested in understanding how the breath works and my ability to improve my capacity. I am afraid of being under the water. That's the actual fear of mine. I know exactly what it's like to be in that full panic mode. From being in the ocean to, I even did canoeing and kayaking. So I've been in massive rapids upside down and just gone into full panic. And how to find an inner calm in those moments of, I'm so well trained and versed in how to flip out of my kayak so that I'm back up the right way around. But even so, still in that moment, I hit full panic. It's like the wave hits you, so to speak, and you just lose your ability to just find calm. So how can you find calm in a state of absolute panic? And that for me would be a profound breakthrough.
Excellent. Okay, that is great. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's definitely something that I can talk a little bit about. And while I do that, I will actually get us started on our breath hold stuff as well. So basically what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be going through basically 1, how to take a final breath. 2, we're going to go through some basic tips for making sure the breath hold is nice and long, you feel nice and relaxed. And 3, then going through some mental techniques to get you to a longer and longer breath hold. And that should take us to 10:30 or 10:30-ish. Cool. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys how to take a final breath. Generally, when I talk to people, I find that they are not taking a full breath to the maximum capacity that they could be. When I take a final breath, there are 3 parts of my lungs that I think about individually. There is the diaphragm, the intercostals, and the upper chest. So there are 3 different areas that you can sort of fill by using 3 different muscle groups. The diaphragm is a muscle that pulls down. The intercostals are the muscles between your ribs that open up your lungs and push out or pull out. And then your upper chest has a very small amount of muscles and space, but you can get a little bit of stuff up there as well. And sort of like if you puff your chest out that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 minutes to breathe only into the diaphragm. And you can do that by putting one hand over your belly button, the other hand on your chest. And then we're just going to focus on only breathing into the diaphragm, sticking our stomach out. As soon as you feel your ribs start to move, that's when you can let your breath out. You don't need to push any further than that. And we'll go nice and slow with this. There's no reason to rush through. We're doing this because we want to warm up the muscles, just like you would warming up before a jog or before a gym workout. We want to get blood flowing to those areas, stretch out those muscles a little bit, get them moving. And this is how we do that. Cool. So I'll give us 2 minutes. And then while you guys are doing that, I'll talk a little bit about what you were talking about in terms of maintaining relaxation. So for me, when I do all of my breath hold stuff, I am very much a sort of scientifically minded person. I like to know biologically what's going on in my body, and all of that. So when we're sitting here normally right now, our blood is 100% oxygenated. There's nothing more than we can do to get more oxygen into our blood. And that sort of stands for any other time we're doing any sort of physical activity as well. If we're breathing normally, we are generally getting enough oxygen to keep our blood 100% oxygenated. From there,
question: Are we supposed to be practicing breathing while you're talking?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, you guys are supposed to be doing the 2 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing. Okay. Yeah. So the sticking diaphragm out, back in and relax. Cool. It takes about a minute for our blood to fully circulate around our body. And during that time, it's dropping off oxygen to the muscles that need it. So even if we do a breath hold during that time, we have a minute of oxygen just in our blood alone that will be enough to keep our muscles going. Then any breath that's or any oxygen in our lungs is also being transferred as well. So we at any point have a lot of oxygen capacity in our body, even though it might not feel like it. Cool, that's 2 minutes. Now we'll go to 2 minutes of intercostal breathing. You can put your fingers in the shapes of L's, rest your thumbs in between your ribs, to sort of be able to feel little divots, and then put the fingertips together, just nice and gently. Then from there, really focusing on only getting the fingers to separate, not breathing into the diaphragm, and back down again. And again, really focusing on only pushing your ribs out, not moving your diaphragm, not moving your upper chest. Cool, I'll give you 2 minutes to do that. Cool. The other thing with breath holds is that our bodies cannot really sense when we are low on oxygen. Our lungs in particular sense when we have a buildup of CO2. That's what causes the urge to breathe, causes contractions, causes sort of that panic response in the brain to say, breathe, breathe, breathe. Knowing that, and knowing that we have plenty of oxygen in our lungs, plenty of oxygen in our blood, at least for me, makes it easier to sort of say, okay, cool, you know, thank you, body. I appreciate that you're giving me this sign that, you know, I have a buildup of CO2. But at this point, you know, I know that I'm safe. I know that I have plenty of oxygen, and we're going to hold our breath for a little bit longer. We're just going to get used to these feelings and sort of just sit with them and let them roll. And in doing that, I think that, at least for me, again, knowing that we have that large amount of oxygen still in our bodies, and the responses that we get are from a buildup of CO2, not from a lack of oxygen. That really puts at least my mind at ease that, you know, things are going to be okay. I am in control, and I'm not going to be blacking out, you know, in a second. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, that's been 2 minutes. Now we're going to do 2 minutes of upper chest breathing. So again, you can put one hand sort of on your over your solar plexus, the other one over your stomach. And this one, we're only trying to puff our chest out, like we're doing something like that. There's not much space up here to breathe into. So these breaths might feel a bit shallow, but that's okay. We're just trying to warm up the muscles just a little bit. So I'll give you guys 2 minutes to breathe into the upper chest. Nice and slow, nice and relaxed. And then the other thing that I like to think about a lot with breath holds is hyperventilation. Hyperventilation, you might think of as something like this. That is definitely one version of hyperventilation. Another version of hyperventilation might look like this. So very deep inhalations. Ooh, feel a little lightheaded. When we are doing a breath hold, we don't want to be doing that. And that is because hyperventilation, as we said, you cannot add any extra oxygen to the 100% saturation that your blood has. But what it does is it moves CO2 out of your body and out into the world. And we don't want that because CO2 is what gives us the urge to breathe. And it lets us know where we are in our breath hold. And if we do hyperventilation, it is possible for us to black out before we actually realize that we are getting any of those signs. So for me, and for anybody who's doing competitive freediving, we never want to be hyperventilating because that is a safety concern. We never want to be blacking out. We never want to be pushing to the point where we are even close to that. When we're doing breath holds, we always want to be comfortable. We always want to be relaxed, and we always want to be feeling good. Now, there's a distinction to be made there where you can have contractions and you can have the urge to breathe and still feel comfortable. I can hold my breath for 7.5 minutes and I can sit with the urge to breathe and still, not be, feeling like having a bad time. So when we're doing these breath holds, if at any point you feel like you're done, you should breathe. There's no reason to try and be a hero and hold for any particular amount of time. We're just going to be doing this for relaxation and sort of reflecting inward, if that makes sense. Cool. So the last part we're going to do is we're going to put all three of these components together. We're going to take a full breath in. So we start with the diaphragm, intercostals, upper chest. Hold for a second at the top and then let the air out. If at any point in this part you feel a little dizzy, don't take such a full breath in. Because the way that we breathe, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do that. Because of the way that we breathe now with the diaphragm, intercostals, upper chest, we are fully inflating the lungs. And the heart is encased in the left lung. And so if we, as we're taking this full breath in, we can sort of squeeze the heart a little bit and the aorta, and that can sort of restrict blood flow to the brain. And so we don't want to be taking such a huge breath in that we potentially black out. So again, everything that we're doing is completely to comfort and to relaxation. Nothing should feel really uncomfortable. Everything should be relaxed. Just feel the flow, feel the rhythm. Nice and relaxed. Let's take one more breath. Okay. Feeling okay so far? Cool, excellent, great to hear. Okay, so what we are going to do today is we are going to do 5 breath holds. And these breath holds are going to be, again, nice and relaxed, nice and easy, to your comfort. And we're just going to do a few, see how we feel, and then I'm going to give you guys a few sort of mindfulness techniques to sort of see if we can prolong the comfort and prolong the relaxation and prolong the breath holds. Cool. The last thing that I want to cover is something called recovery breathing. Yes, we will lie down. This is called recovery breathing. We do this as, again, a safety protocol to make sure that we are not putting ourselves in a position where we could black out. Generally, this is only really important if we're doing a very long breath hold, where we're at 90, 95% of our max. But it's important to do this after every single breath hold, whether you've held your breath for 10 seconds or 10 minutes. Because as you do this, it gets ingrained in your mind and in your subconscious. So every time you finish a breath hold, it is just a natural thing that happens. And as a result, if you ever do black out doing one of these, if you've ingrained it into your subconscious, this is one of the first things that you will do, which is a great way to quickly sort of regain consciousness and regain, control. So recovery breathing looks like this. Take a full breath in. So what I'm doing is I'm letting a little bit of the breath out and then immediately inhaling it back in again. So I'm not exhaling a whole lot. I'm maybe exhaling maybe 10% of the air in my lungs, and then I'm sucking it back in again. We always do at least 3 of these, and then we can let the air out. If you want to do more, you definitely can. But let's try just a few of those. So we'll take a full breath in, and then we'll do a few hook breaths. Feel free to make the t sound, or you can do a p sound. It's up to you. Just as long as we're not letting a whole bunch of air out. Really, like only 10% of the air should be sort of escaping and then coming back in again. Okay. That is called hook breaths or recovery breaths. And it's a sort of technique that lots of professional freedivers use after a very long dive or very long breath hold to maintain consciousness at the end of their dive. But as I said, as we're doing this, it's a good habit to get into. Whether you're planning to do, whether you're planning to do diving or you're planning on just doing this as a meditation technique, it's a very safe safe habit to get into.
Brandon, for surfing as well, so if we have to hold our breaths if we're caught between waves and need to catch a quick breath, is that what you would use?
Yes. Yeah, I would do if you can, just do a little, and especially if there are multiple waves coming, try and just give a little one. That will be enough to get you through a little bit more. Because the possibility of, if you let a full exhale out, if you've used a bunch of your oxygen for a long time, you can drop the saturation so low in your lungs that oxygen can be pulled out of your blood and can cause you to go unconscious. So by doing this hook breathing, we maintain the pressure of oxygen that's still in our lungs and let a little bit of air out and bring in more oxygen again. So we top it up. So that's more oxygen, more oxygen, more oxygen. Cool. Okay, awesome. So let's all lie down. Whether you want to lay down on the floor or lay down on a couch or a bed, it's entirely up to you. It would be great if I can see your faces and your torsos while we're doing this, just so I can sort of monitor if you're getting contractions or if you're, if you are still your eyes are open, that sort of stuff. It helps me be able to coach you guys along and sort of be there for you guys. And then I'm going to play a little bit of relaxing music. Share. Cool. How is this level of sound? Is this okay? Okay, cool. Great. Then what we're gonna do is I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to just lay there perfectly still, perfectly calm. Just relax. Keeping your hands either at your sides, on your chest, and just getting nice and relaxed. Okay, 2 minutes can start now. And for this first breath hold, what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of get a baseline for where you guys are. Just be laying nice and relaxed. During and between all of these breath holds, try to not move as little as possible. So staying nice and relaxed, nice and still. Everybody has something called the mammalian dive response. That's 1 minute, 1 minute until we begin. And that basically, long story short, lets us hold our breaths for longer. It moves blood away from our fingertips and from our toes to our core, conserving the oxygen for our organs, and our heart rate slows down, also conserving oxygen. And the more you move around, the more you disrupt that, that response. 30 seconds until we begin. Fifteen seconds. Okay, we're gonna start our breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath in, starting with the diaphragm, moving to the intercostals, and then to the upper chest, and then relax. Relax your neck, relax your face, relax your shoulders, and all of the muscles around your lungs. There's no reason to hold on to any tension. You're being completely supported. Just hold for as long as you feel comfortable. When you finish, just stay nice and relaxed. Very nice. Very nicely done. Everyone watching later on, we'll hold for another 30 seconds if anybody's still going. 10 seconds. Everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Cool. For this next breath hold, I'm gonna give you guys another 2 minutes to relax, catch your breath. Breathing normally, breathing as if you're not even thinking about it. For this next breath hold, we're going to do a little bit of a guided meditation. This is called a body scan. Until then, just enjoy the feeling of laying there, relaxing. It's 1 minute. 1 minute until we begin. Thirty seconds. Fifteen seconds. Starting our next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath, starting with the diaphragm, moving to the intercostals, and up to the upper chest, and then relax. I want you to imagine a ball of relaxing, warm energy, just hovering over your feet. As it hovers there, and its warmth and energy moves over your feet and up your ankles, all of the muscles in the area just completely relax. As you move that ball over your ankles, up over your shins, and up to your knees, feel that relaxation. Feel how amazing it feels just to be completely relaxed. Let the ball move up your thighs, over your hips, up to your stomach. Let the ball of relaxing energy hover over your chest for a little bit. Let all that relaxation really just relax all the muscles around your ribs. Very nice. You can move that relaxing energy up to your shoulders. Split the ball in half and go down each one of your arms, over your biceps and your triceps, down across your elbows to your forearms. Down to your hands, releasing any tension along the way. And let that ball come back together over your stomach. And if you're having contractions, you can let that relaxing ball of energy pulse with the contractions 15 seconds until we breathe. Just letting that ball of energy just relax your diaphragm. Everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Remembering to stay nice and still throughout all of these breath holds. If you're feeling any tingling in your legs or your hands or your arms, that is perfectly natural, and that's actually a great sign, because that is the feeling that you get when the peripheral vasoconstriction kicks in. So when the blood is moved away from your extremities to your core. So if you're feeling that, that is a really good thing. You are super relaxed. Okay, the next breath hold, we are going to do another kind of guided meditation, which some of you might find really enjoyable and others might not. We are going to 1 minute to breathe. This breath hold is going to be a guided meditation through a relaxing float, either on the ocean or in a pool, wherever you feel most comfortable. That's 1:30. 30 seconds until we begin. Fifteen seconds. Taking a full breath in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath, starting with the diaphragm, up to the intercostals, and then upper chest, and then relax. Very nice. I want you to imagine that you're floating on a paddleboard or a surfboard or some sort of inflatable mat, and you're floating there. Floating on a pool, floating in the ocean, wherever you want to be floating. And feel how nice the warm sun feels as you lay there. You hear the water gently lapping against whatever it is that you're laying on. Feeling nice and relaxed. Enjoying how you're being supported. And how good it feels to just take some time for yourself. Not doing anything. Just laying there. Listening to the sounds around you. Maybe you're hearing seagulls. Maybe you're hearing trees blowing. Whatever it is that you hear just relaxes you more. Just enjoying it. That's 30 seconds. 30 seconds until we all breathe. 15 seconds. Everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody doing recovery breathing. And then relax. Very nice. On this next breath hold, we're gonna try something different. I'm going to tell you guys what the times are on this one. Some people really like knowing what the times are, and other people really hate knowing what the times are. I am one of those people that hates knowing what the times are. But everyone is different, and what works for one person might not work for another. So that's why we're going through a whole bunch of different techniques to see what works best for you. Everyone's doing really great so far. Everyone's looking nice and relaxed. It's 1 minute until we begin. Staying nice and relaxed. "30 seconds. "15 seconds. Taking a nice deep breath in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath, starting with the diaphragm, moving to the intercostals, up to the upper chest, and then relax. That's 1 minute. 1 minute already. That's 1:30, halfway through. That's 2 minutes. It's 2:15. It's 2:30. 30 seconds until we all breathe. 15 seconds. Everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doing your hook breathing. Very nice. And relax. For this last one, we'll go to 4 minutes. If anybody wants to try, go for a little longer, they can. Remembering that we always want to be comfortable, we want to be relaxed, we never want to be pushing. It's 1 minute. 1 minute until we begin. Seconds. Fifteen seconds. Taking a nice deep breath in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath, starting with the diaphragm, up to the intercostals, the upper chest. One more time, relax. I'll only tell you what the time is at 1:30. It is 1:30. It's 2 minutes. Halfway through. It's 2:30. Doing great. If you start to feel contractions, Just relax. Let them roll through, knowing that it's from a buildup of CO2, not from a lack of oxygen. Plenty of oxygen left. That's 3 minutes. Just relax. Let the diaphragm move. It's 2:15. Very nice. We're at 3:30. Remembering only doing this if we're comfortable. 3:45, 15 seconds until everybody breathes. Very nice. Everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe normally. Take a second to relax, catch your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly sit up. How are we all feeling? Nice and relaxed?
Yeah, tingly.
Tingly in your fingers and your toes, or?
Yeah, mostly in the extremities, yeah.
Yeah, that's the peripheral vasoconstriction. So that's your capillaries basically closing like they do when you're really cold, and moving all of the blood away from your extremities to your core. That's one of the things that for a lot of beginners is difficult to get to, because the urge to breathe can generally be quite strong if you're not used to it. And so, getting that is good. Any thoughts, any feedback? Feeling good, feeling not so good?
Yeah, I have the thought, like I have this frustration thought, like, I wish I could hold it for longer, and noticing myself comparing this experience with other experiences, or with comparing myself with other people. And also just really appreciative. Yeah, I really appreciated how you led. Felt really peaceful, and love the music.
Thank you. Yeah. With wanting to compare yourself, that's a really sort of difficult thing to sort of get out of the mindset of doing. But really all we can do is compare our current self to our past self. Everyone is so different that, and every instance is also so different. Doing breath holds dry versus doing them in the water has an impact. You can hold your breath for longer if your face is in the water than if your face is dry. So really it's all about just taking each session and really showing up. If you're putting in the work, you will see benefits. If you don't do it, then you don't get those benefits. Cool. I am out of time, but everybody who signed up for the summit has 4 free sessions with me, which is going to be super exciting. They are at 7 a.m. South Africa time on Thursdays, starting this Thursday. Be for about an hour. It'll be, so this was more just to sort of like get us feeling what it's like to hold our breaths. The sessions from here on out will actually be more like longer breath holding, more breath holds. and spending more time holding our breaths. So more time to sort of sit with our minds, sit with our feelings, and just enjoy.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Cool.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody else in the goodie bag sessions. So head to the goodie bag for all the details and links. And yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys.
We are going for a 15-minute break, and then we're back with me, partner dancing with life. So excited. Okay, see you now.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Du findest keine Luft. Du findest keine Luft. Du findest keine Luft, folgst blind diesem Duft, oder ist es ein Schimmer, was auch immer, doch du weißt nicht so recht, ist der überhaupt echt? Oder nur Illusion, wer weiß das schon, fragt dich dein Argwohn. Ich mein, bei all der Manipulation, die hier regiert, die Wahrheit zensiert, sie weiß lackiert, mit rosa Blümchen beschmiert, dein Gehirn verwirrt, es so lange malträtiert, bis es sich verliert. Verliert in einer Scheinwelt, in der nur der Geldschein zählte. Ein allgemeines Nehmen und Gehen, niemand bleibt stehen, um einzusehen, in unserem Kerne war doch mal Wärme, fehlt doch die Wärme. Hoch oben leuchten Sterne, in der Ferne Vogelschwärme, uns umgibt so viel Wärme. Doch weh am Lärme der Stadt, ignorieren sie matt und taub wie welkes Laub, folgen wir dem Staat wie ein Zinnsoldat, der eigenes Denken aufgab, denn als nette Marionette vom System ist es so bequem. Tief in uns drinnen diese Stimme, die sagt, von Existenzangst geplagt, nein, die schreit nach Sicherheit. Sicherheit ohne Angst, ohne Leid, ohne Einsamkeit, so stehen wir Massen aufgereiht, Seit an Seit, Bausparvertrag fest umfassend, uns selber hassend in den Gassen und lassen unser Ich irgendwo liegen. Und schöne Ideale, die ihre Hüften wiegen, beginnen unseren Geist dreist zu verbiegen, bis wir dem Materialismus erlegen und uns schmiegen in sein verlockendes Netz, in dessen Mitte die Spinne die Zähne wetzt, Neid in unsere Hirne setzt und unsere Ehre zerfetzt und unsere Würde zerfetzt.